Hi, thanks for tuning in to Jamie Elmer Yoga. I'm Jamie, and today I'll be teaching you one of my favorite poses to relieve mid and upper back pain and tension. And it's also a great shoulder and chest opener. So for this position, you will need 2 blocks. Just make sure that your blocks are of this size. You don't want those real thin ones, and you don't want to use those real big ones that are designed for taller people. This is really the standard size block, so this is what you'll need. And I think it's best to have the blocks that are fairly firm, either these cork ones or firm foam ones like those. Okay, so you want them to be matching sizes, and you'll need them for this pose. Now, to be clear, and I won't go into a whole workshop about this today, we could be here for the whole day. But to be clear, when we are talking about mid and upper back tension, that could be caused by many things. And the pose I'm about to teach you is really good for people that have mid and upper back tension or tightness in the front of their shoulders due to sitting in the car, sitting at a desk, texting, or just simply what one would describe as bad posture. Now, bad posture usually means that the front of the shoulders slump forward, roll forward, and maybe incorporated with a forward head and chin jutting forward. Could be the chest sinking back, and then the mid back and the upper back rounding. Now, we have a ton of little muscles that run down our spine on either side of the spine that are of different lengths and attached to different areas. They attach one vertebrae to the next, some attached to our shoulder blades, some attached to our ribs. And when all those little muscles, or some of those muscles, are living in a sense overstretched, or what I call locked long, it will actually produce and give you the sense of tightness and tension. Where in essence, those muscles, in order to feel relief, those muscles need to contract a little bit so that they are not living in that locked long, weakened state. And again, just in real brief terms here, I'm talking about shoulders rolling forward. This can cause tension between your shoulder blades. If your head juts forward, this can cause tension in the back of your neck and upper back, weakness in the front of the throat. And then if our chest sinks in and our mid and or upper back rounds, then those muscles are living in a weakened, overstretched state. And again, it may feel like you need to stretch between your shoulder blades and stretch your spine, but in actuality, you need to strengthen between your shoulder blades and strengthen your spine so that those muscles become elastic again. So this pose is an excellent way to help open the shoulders so that the shoulder blades can come onto your back. And it's an excellent way to open the chest and give those mid and upper back muscles a little sense of contraction, and it'll actually be a relief for your spine. So if you've never done this before, I'm going to suggest that you start with your blocks, the height that I have mine here. So the block that will be under my shoulder blades, supporting the back of the chest, is the lowest height, and it's running across my mat perpendicular to the mat. And then the block that will be supporting the head is the medium height. So again, if you've never done this before, this is a really good place to start. And I'm 5'6", 5 feet 6 inches tall. If you're a good amount shorter than me, maybe 5'2" or shorter, you'll definitely want to start with your blocks this height. All right, so some of this does depend on just the length of our body and our spine. So set your blocks up. I have mine roughly 4 or 5 inches apart. And when you do this for the first time, you will probably need to adjust your blocks, but you will figure out what works best depending on how it feels. So I'm forward, my pelvis is forward of the blocks. And as I come back, I need to move further forward so that this block is supporting the back of my chest, and I can actually feel my shoulder blades supported by the block. So my shoulder blades are on the block, like the block is a little shelf for them. And now my head feels good. You want to sense that Both sides of your neck are long, the front of your throat's long, and the back of your neck is long. So I'm going to demonstrate what you don't want. You don't want your head leaning back like this, where then the back of the neck, the cervical spine, is really in extension. You want to feel like you can talk easily when your head is supported and that the back of the neck is long, the front of the neck is long, and both sides of your neck are long. Now again, if you haven't done this before, I would suggest that you start with your knees bent, feet flat, and you want to sense that your lower back is comfortable and long, not in a big back bend. And then take your arms open to the side and your hands, bring them a little bit lower than your shoulders. So not up here, not in a V position, but hands a little bit lower than shoulder height. Now take a couple of smooth breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And if you feel like your shoulders are up around your ears or the front of your shoulders are lifting up towards the sky, then you need to adjust and bring yourself up the blocks a little bit more. So right now, my shoulders feel as if they can completely relax and are heavy, and that's really what we're looking for. Although my blocks are solid and hard, I'm actually really comfortable here. So I can't stress this enough. If you're not comfortable, then you need to adjust. If it's not comfortable, that means that something needs to be rearranged. Now, if you feel like you could benefit and enjoy a little more stretch in the front of your shoulders or in your inner arms or in your mid or upper back, and I'm going to instruct you to bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. Use your stomach. I actually like to come out of this pose straight up instead of off to the side. And you may then try having the blocks this taller height. Now, again, if you're taller than 5'6", even if you're new to this pose, you still may need the blocks the taller height because you may be a foot taller than I am, and that would mean the dimensions are appropriate for your spine. You can always go lower and you can always go higher, but start with the low height if it's new for you. And then I'll be forward of the block again. And as I come back, my shoulder blades, I'm a little bit too high that way, so I'm going to walk my shoulder blades down again, readjust my pelvis so my lower back is long. And then notice here again that you want the block under your head so that you could easily talk and carry on a conversation here. You don't want to feel like your chin is pushed into your chest, creating that nice double chin. And you also definitely don't want your head to be leaning back to where the back of your neck is being compressed at all. So a good kind of guide here is, can you talk? Could you carry on a conversation with the placement of your head? And that's a good indication that your head's probably in the right spot. And again, it should be comfortable. So arms, hands open to the side. Again, hands a little bit lower than your shoulders. You can keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. You don't want to feel any back bend or any compression, no discomfort in your lower back. Having the knees bent helps to keep our lower back long here. Smooth breath in through your nose, smooth exhale out. Remember, if your shoulders are rolling up towards the sky, then you probably need to come higher up the block so that the front of your shoulders, the tops of your shoulders can relax down just naturally. And after a couple of breaths here, if you feel like it's too high, then you go back to that lower height, right? There's no goal for the height of the blocks in this pose. It's about where you can breathe easily and how it feels in your body. Take a few more soft breaths here with me, and just notice you may feel a stretch in the front of your chest. You may feel it in the front of your shoulders. You may feel it in your inner arms. Sometimes we feel it all the way into the palm of the hand or through the fingers. Sense that the back of your neck is long, the front of your neck and throat is long, both sides of your neck are long. Notice how it feels in your mid and your upper back. So right now the front body is opening, the back body is contracting a little, which will actually bring you that sense of relief if your mid and upper back feel tight from sitting all day, computer work, driving, or just simply not optimal posture. Now, if you're still with me here, bring your hands to the backs of your thighs, use your stomach, and come up. And now move your blocks to the side. I would suggest, if you're new to this pose, that you just start with a minute on the blocks, and then move them off to the side. Come onto your back, and just let your spine acclimate to being long without any blocks underneath. You'll probably feel like you can breathe a little easier now. And then over time, just increase the time. So once a minute feels like no time at all, then increase it to 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And really just depending on you, you could be in that pose for 5 minutes. Some people are comfortable for 10. I can't tell you exactly how long to stay in it, but stay in it at a comfortable length of time for you, but only increase in small increments. And then always take the time on your back to rest without the blocks and let your spine just acclimate from being in that back bend. All right, so enjoy this pose. I smile when I talk about it because it is such a wonderful pose. It's such a wonderful passive back bend, which means once you're situated, you don't have to do the work. Gravity does it. It's so healthy for our mid and our upper back, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting, and so healthy for the front of the body. So enjoy. And I oftentimes incorporate this pose or a version like it in my videos that I have on my streaming yoga video membership site. So to work with me more for classes, for full length practices, for all levels, all body types, 10 minutes to 90 minutes, please join me at jamieelmeryoga.com, and you can subscribe to my membership site there. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos you find helpful. Thanks so much. Have a great day.